Hey guys, I thought I would do a short video on all the Glossier products I picked up during their Black Friday sale. So here we go. Okay, first up we have the skin tint in G7. I did have a lot of difficulty trying to figure out my shade because there are barely any references for Indian skin with Glossier on the internet. This one has more neutral undertones and I think G6 was slightly warmer. Since it's sheer, a shade here and there may not make too much of a difference and you mainly need to pick the right undertone. You can find references for my shade in the description below. The tint is really lightweight and has extremely sheer coverage, so it won't cover any blemishes or acne spots or anything like that, but it will give your face a very nice even tone and color. So if like me you don't like wearing foundation a lot or at all, then this is a great option for you to use every day. As you can see, it sets really evenly once it finally dries. This is the concealer in the shade G7 also. I picked this shade because I didn't know which one would suit me, so I thought it would be the safest to have the same shade. You can go brighter or darker depending on your use of the concealer. I only use it for my redness around my nose and my mouth and to occasionally dab onto a spot on my face, and it's best applied by dabbing and not sort of pulling your skin. If you dab the spot with your finger, it blends in really well, and it does have an oily texture that doesn't dry out since the whole brand's aim is to keep you glossy, but you can use a compact powder to set it. I also use it on my eyelids as a base for my eyeshadow. You'll see how it helps later on in the video. Up next are the cloud paints. I bought the pair combo since I wanted one of each shade type, a brown and a pink. A lot of people like to use Beam, Puff and Dawn, but I prefer the less bright shades. So I picked Dusk, which is a lovely terracotta nude. You only need a small drop for your face and can use way less than what I've applied. But this will help give you an idea of the color on our skin. It also blends really well and creates a watercolor-like wash on your face that also has a slight sheen when it dries. Again, I use my hands to blend it out because a sponge or any brush either absorbs it or doesn't spread it properly. Plus, this way it's easier to transfer it evenly across your face, and even if you have excess, just dab away till you're happy with the remainder. Now, the second shade I have is Haze, and it's a bright berry but also not like the typical pink that you get. I use it as a stain for my lips to create a nice base for any lipstick, and I also use only one tiny, tiny drop on my cheeks since it's a very strong color. It also mixes really beautifully with the previous shade Dusk, and you can see the differences on either cheek. So I bought the duo so I could play around with various combinations of the two shades, but usually I only use Dusk on an everyday basis, and this is more for a glam look. So this is the highlighter Haloscope in the shade Quartz. It's the middle shade because the lighter ones seem too pearly and the darker ones seem too warm. It applies really smoothly and doesn't really have any glitter particles that fall out or create texture with your skin, which makes it a really smooth and seamless highlighter, and it blends in super easily with just your finger. And you can use it for day or night, and I like to use it on my eyebrows and my nose for a more of a nighttime look because it adds a lot of subtle sheen. Everyone loves highlighter. Anyway, this is really nice and natural looking highlighter. So this is the lipstick in the shade Cake. Initially I was going to pick between Leo and Cake, but Leo has a more brown earthy tone and this had a more red rust tone, which I like a lot more. And this is what it looks like with one swipe on your lips. So it's really sheer and sort of like a watercolor effect. Again, you can layer this on top of anything, and I usually like to go over my lips about 2 or 3 times so that you can actually see the color. And to make it more glam, I like to add the lip gloss on top. Now, the clear lip gloss is the first thing that drew me to Glossier, and it is an absolutely beautiful gloss. With just one layer, you can see that your lips look plumper, they feel really hydrated, and the gloss itself stays for a really long time. It does create this really beautiful glass look if you let it sit on your lips for a little while, so you get a really full looking lip, which is very comfortable to wear through the day. Did come out with more tinted glosses, but I prefer the clear one because it's very easily worn with everything else. And that's it. So I hope this video really helped you figure out some of the shades that Glossier has. I know it was difficult for me. I'm just going to finish applying the eyeshadow on the concealer base that I had created for my eyelids. As you can see, it really helps the powder stay on, and you can also see the difference between the eyes. Yeah, Glossier is great. I've really enjoyed using it for the last 3 months, and it has been my go-to every day. Here are some of my faces, and if you like this and would like to know anything about the brand, let me know in the comments below.